Hey, don't leave your halter tied like that to the trailer. Why? Well, it can cause a lot of accidents and it just takes 2 seconds to untie it, so it'd really be best if you untied it. I mean, I think it'll be fine. It's just our trailer. We'll be right back. Oh my gosh, my horse tore the ring out of the trailer. She got her foot in her halter and she broke her leg and then went crazy. I cannot believe it. Hey, I'm Sadie, and I'm going to be telling you everything you're going to need for your first horse. So, if you have just bought your first horse, you're about to buy your first horse, or you're just curious to see what I have to say, then let's go. The first thing you are going to need from your horse, an absolute necessity, is a halter and a lead rope. You can buy them together, you can buy them separately, and there are a lot of different kinds of halters. I have some here with me that I'm going to show you and talk about. First, I have this fluffy halter. It's got alfalfa on it. Ignore that. I love this for long hauls and hauls in the trailer because it is super soft. The cheek pieces are really soft. It has the soft fabric over their pole, but I would not suggest this for everyday use. It gets dirty very, very easily, so you don't need to store it in your barn if your barn is very dusty. But it is very comfy and cozy for in the trailer. Next, I have a rope halter. This halter came with a lead rope already attached. A lot of rope halters do. This one has a little bit of a harsher noseband. I would not suggest that for your first go with a rope halter. If your horse comes with one, great, but I wouldn't go and just buy this if you're a beginner. I also would not suggest rope halters in general unless you absolutely know how to tie them and you understand all of the pressure points and everything that goes along with that. And if you use cross ties all the time, I don't suggest using a rope halter. Next is a nylon halter. This is absolutely what I would recommend for you to get. Very beginner friendly, very nice, last a long time, and they're just really good halters. I do not have a nylon with me, so I'm going to put some pictures here, and I would really suggest this, and I would suggest you get 2 halters in case your horse snaps one of them, because you are going to need a backup, and I know Chester has snapped like 2 halters probably, if not more. So it's just very good to have a backup. Next, I have this half nylon, half leather halter that I got off of Etsy a long time ago. It has one of my horse's names beaded on the noseband. On this halter, the cheek pieces are leather and the noseband is leather. I really love this halter more for decoration because it is huge. So make sure you measure your horse if you are going to buy a custom halter like this off of Etsy to make sure everything is going to fit. And you can also get completely leather halters, which I think are really nice. The next necessity you are going to need for your horse is buckets. You're going to need buckets. I suggest having 2 water buckets for your horse if they're in a stall, or a trough if your horse is kept outside. You are also going to need heated buckets. If you live somewhere that in the winter it gets below freezing because you do not want their water to freeze, and you want the water to be kind of warm in winter so they want to drink it. You're also going to need a corner feeder or another bucket or a feed pan to let your horse eat out of. The next necessity you are going to need are grooming tools. There's a lot. You can get all kinds of different brushes. I would suggest having a brush to brush off your horse before you put a saddle on them, a Slick Easy to get fur off, especially in the spring, a hoof pick for sure, and we're going to get more into that later. You can also get things like a squeegee to get water off of them. I know some people call those water scrapers to get water off of them after you have sprayed your horse down. And along with grooming tools, I would suggest getting some shampoos to bathe your horse. But a very important thing I do want to say about that is do not shampoo your horse every single day. You can spray them as long as it's above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Great. Do not clean them with shampoo every single day, or even like every other day, okay? Because horses are not people. They have oils in their fur that they need, and You are impairing their immune system if you scrape all of those oils off every day, okay? Only bathe them like a few times a month, I would say. Just throwing that out there. And I would get a mane and tail brush. The next thing you're going to need if you live somewhere where it gets below freezing or like under 50 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to need a winter blanket for your horse. Now, if you have not bought your horse yet, do not order a winter blanket before you know the measurements for your horse. You do not want a blanket that does not fit for a ton of reasons. You don't want to be too loose, you don't want to get tangled up in it, and you don't want to be too tight because that's just not comfortable. So make sure you wait or you get the measurements from the previous owner before you order a blanket because it is great. I think I skipped stuff. Oh my god. Pray for editing me right now. Hey, can you help me? My horse got pretty hurt in our run. It's pretty bad. Oh my gosh, yeah. Do you have your medicine bag with you? Do you have like Butte or anything or vet wrap? No, all of our medicine is at the barn. Of course it is. Next on the list is an equine emergency first aid kit. This is very important to have at your barn, wherever your horses are, and to take with you everywhere you travel with your horses, whether to a race or even just to a trail ride. It is so important to have. Inside your equine first aid kit, I would suggest having gauze, vet wrap, bandages, gloves, Banamine, Butte, any kind of thrush treatment medicine, Dex in case your horse has an allergic reaction, and DMSO or any kind of sweat that you like to use on your horse or a brand that you like the best. I would suggest having all of these things just in case you need them because you never know when you're going to need them. The next thing on my list of necessities that could be optional are hay nets. I would really suggest having one. Horses are foraging animals and they need forage throughout the day because that's how their stomach processes things. And if you want to prevent ulcers, it's good to always have something on their stomach. So I would really suggest getting a hay net. The next thing on my necessities, if you're somewhere with flies, I don't know where doesn't have flies, but if you live there, you're lucky. But if you're like the rest of us and you have flies, you need to get a fly mask, fly boots, and optionally a fly sheet. Zebra print is the best because it is like an optical illusion to the flies so they do not land. And you absolutely need to have fly spray. To keep your horse protected from the flies like to get in their eyes and bite them, and it's very uncomfortable. So you want to make sure you keep your horse as protected as possible. Do not buy any of these things until you know the measurement for your specific horse, okay? Okay. The next thing I would suggest would be to have some kind of bell boots or sports boots to protect your horse's legs when you ride. This is kind of optional. In my opinion, I think it's really good to have, and it keeps your horse from nicking themselves and helps absorb shock. Next, if you are a barrel racer like I am, or you're wanting to become a barrel racer, a lot of our shows are dress code. So you are going to need jeans, a button-down long sleeve shirt with a collar, and a hat. Now that all the necessities are out of the way, a fun and extra thing you can get your horse is a personalized stall sign to help spruce up their stall, make it very personalized. The brand Horseshoe Names has some super cute, very customizable signs that they make just for you and your horse. If you like the looks of all these super cute signs, go to their website. I will put a link down below and use code SADIE, SADIE, for 10% off your entire order. Okay. Now that all of the necessities are out of the way, let's go to very important tips that I have and very important things to know before you get your first horse. Something that is very important that I wish was told to me way sooner is that dental work for your horse is so important, okay? Hey, can you help me? My horse has been dropping a lot of feed when she eats. Sure. When was the last time you got their teeth floated? What? Your horse's teeth need to be floated or like filed down once a year, and they need this to be able to eat comfortably and to avoid any kind of soreness or issues that are going to come from you not getting your horse's teeth done. And please Get your horse's teeth done by an equine dentist or someone that absolutely knows what they're doing. Who do you have doing your horse's teeth? Oh, just my friend. He had someone teach him how to do it over the summer. It's pretty cool. Like a vet, okay? Don't just let anybody do your horse's teeth. I don't care that they're your friend. Get someone who does it professionally to do your horse's teeth. You need someone that understands waves and all of the workings of the horse teeth to make sure that they get your horse's teeth done exactly how your specific horse needs them to be done. If your horse's teeth are uneven or sharp, it's going to be hard for your horse to eat. And it's just so important. Okay, please, I'm begging you, get your horse's teeth done. Hey, don't leave your halter tied like that to the trailer. Why? Well, it can cause a lot of accidents, and it just takes 2 seconds to untie it, so it'd really be best if you untied it. I mean, I think it'll be fine. It's just our trailer. We'll be right back. Oh my gosh, my horse tore the ring out of the trailer. She got her foot in her halter, and she broke her leg, and then went crazy. I cannot believe it. The next important thing to know is when you tie your horse to your trailer, and then you take their halter off to put their bridle on, or take them wherever, and you leave your halter at your trailer, do not take your halter off while the lead rope is still tied to the ring and leave it hanging. There's so many safety issues with that. If your horse gets a foot in it, they're probably going to break their leg trying to get out because it's still tied. Okay, please untie it. You can just untie it and lay it on the ground, but please untie it. So nobody's horses get broken legs. We do not want that. Also, going along with this, do not take your horse's halter off in cross ties and leave the halter connected to one of the cross ties. If another horse goes in there, or you come back in there and you turn your horse around to be in the cross ties and your horse steps into it and tries to get out, but it's connected to the wall, the same thing is going to happen. It's a huge pet peeve of mine, and it's a big, big safety issue. I can't figure out why my horse keeps coming up lame randomly and keeps limping around. Does she have thrush? Like a fungus in her feet? Does she stay in any kind of wet stall or in mud outside somewhere? Yeah, she's pretty wet. I only can clean her stall about once a month. You're supposed to clean their stalls once a day or as frequently as possible. You're supposed to clean it every day? Okay, well, your horse has thrush. Put Duracell in its feet. Next on my list is keeping your horse's stall clean is so important for so many different reasons. If you have a horse that's stalled all the time, which I do suggest turning your horse out, okay, do that. But if you have a horse in the stall all the time, clean it like every other day or pay someone to clean it, please. Because you do not want your horse standing in a wet stall. Not only is this just gross, your horse's feet can get thrush, which is like a fungus, and it eats away at their frog, and it can cause lameness issues, and it's very unpleasant. So it is very important to keep your horse's stall dry. And if your horse does get thrush, this is where the hoof pick comes back in. You need to pick out their feet and put either Duracell or no thrush into their feet to kill the fungus and to prevent any kind of lameness issues coming from an untreated foot. Oh my gosh, my horse keeps coming up with back pain, and she's always super rough to ride, and sometimes she bucks with me for no reason. Well, does her saddle fit? Well, my saddle fits me. I got it like a few months before I got her. No, does it fit your horse, not you? What? Okay, I think that's all I have to say for now. If you have any more questions that you'd like me to answer before you get your first horse or about your first horse, or in general, leave them down below and I will answer as many as possible. Thank you so much for watching this video if you made it to the end. Thank you, glad you are here. If you want to see more content by me, feel free to go through my channel, or if you want to find me on other platforms, here are my socials. There will be a link in the description to all of them. Bye. No.